Something about Sesame Street just creeps me out already. I'm your host Youssef, and these are 10 dark Sesame Street theories that will ruin your childhood. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Anyways, has anyone seen Elmo? Number 10, Sesame Street is Rehab for Monsters. The characters on Sesame Street are the stuff of nightmares. There's a huge bird, a vicious green person hiding in the trash, and a genuine vampire. These objects should be terrifying, and some enthusiasts argue that they once were. The creatures were then relocated to Sesame Street, a rehabilitation facility for previously scary monsters. Monsters cannot go outside the perimeters or neighborhood of this village while recovering. They must learn to teach people rather than eat them, and find a less dangerous food to satisfy their desires. As a result, Cookie Monster is obsessed with baked products. Number 9, Big Bird is the last of his kind. Big Bird is a very rare breed. He stands 8 feet tall, and while he cannot fly, he can roller skate. So what exactly is he? Big Bird's species has been a source of debate from the beginning of Sesame Street. Big Bird believes he is a lark, while Oscar believes he is a homing pigeon. However, there is compelling evidence that Big Bird is an extinct moa. The moa were a group of 10 flightless birds that lived in New Zealand. They had long necks and powerful torsos and could stand up to 12 feet tall. Scientists insist that they went extinct hundreds of years ago, but might one still be alive on Sesame Street? It makes sense, especially because his best pal resembles a woolly mammoth. Number 8, Plato Is The Baseline. Bring out your copy of Plato's Republic because things are about to get philosophical. Plato has a classic cave metaphor that illustrates enlightenment through actual sunshine. He describes a prisoner stepping out of the cave and into the sun, seeing his entire worldview is incorrect. When he returns to the cave to educate his fellow inmates, they are skeptical since the information is too overwhelming and contradictory to what they already know. The lesson is that education is a gradual learning process in which students must navigate the cave on their own, putting parts together as they go. And what better guide than a happy kids show? Number 7, Mr. Noodle Is In Hell. Is it possible for an adult to appreciate taking commands from a squeaky red puppet? And why exactly does Mr. Noodle live outside a window in Elmo's house? No, Mr. Noodle does not enjoy dancing for Elmo, but he must since he is in hell, according to this delightfully gloomy notion. Consider this. He appears to be confined in a bizarre environment where he can't speak, but he has to do whatever a fuzzy monster named Elmo says. That does sound awful. Number 6, Cookie Monster has an eating disorder. Cookie Monster enjoys stuffing chocolate chip cookies in his mouth, but as keen observers have noticed, he doesn't so much eat the cookies as chew them into a jumble of fragments that fly in every way. This could indicate that Cookie Monster suffers from a chewing and spitting eating disorder in which he does not ingest food but instead chews and spits it out. Number 5, Oscar has antisocial personality disorder. To be fair, living in a garbage can and being rejected by much of polite society would make anyone bitter, but Oscar's pessimism goes deeper than merely envying what others have. He's a complete sociopath. On Sesame Street, Grouch serves a vital narrative purpose by providing a counterpoint to the show's constantly upbeat characters, Big Bird and Elmo. It makes no difference what pleasant things others do for him, or the fact that despite being an awful, stinky guy, he has a girlfriend, the horrible, stinky Grungetta. He is never satisfied unless he is ruining someone else's day. He's never satisfied unless he is ruining someone else's day, and that is the crux of this problem. He deliberately makes others unhappy. He is rude, mean, irresponsible, and oblivious to how society expects him to act. He obviously suffers from antisocial personality disorder. Individuals suffering from the illness usually lack empathy and tend to be callous, cynical, and contemptuous of the feelings, rights, and sufferings of others. Number 4, the opening song has secret instructions. According to one Redditor, the Sesame Street theme song is more than just catchy, it's code. The lyrics essentially lay out how to go to Sesame Street, providing listeners hints on how to travel to this mythical place. To get in, it must be a sunny day, as the repeated line says. You must bring a broom, sweeping the clouds away. And you must give Oscar the Grouch the password, everything's a-okay. Before you begin, make sure you have memorized all of the procedures. Number 3, Elmo is Animal's son. Reddit user TimorTabor123 has proposed that Elmo is Animal's illegitimate offspring. Animal is well known as the Muppets band's insane drummer. According to this theory, he had a one-night stand with the woman he hits on in a scene from The Muppets Take Manhattan. The Muppets Take Manhattan was published in 1984, and Elmo first appeared on Sesame Street in 1985. Thus, whatever critter Elmo is may be able to speak quite quickly after birth. Elmo is an orphan, thus Animal or his mother may have just abandoned him or put him up for adoption. Number 2, Snuffy is an illusion shared by everyone. Because neither the origin or the species of Mr. Snuffleupagus are certain, he has probably sparked more speculation than any other Sesame Street character. He began as Big Bird's imaginary friend, but he quickly became visible to everyone on the show. That doesn't mean he's not genuine. According to Psychology Today, Snuffy is a visual illusion caused by a common illness that affects every Sesame Street inhabitant. It's a specific misconception that Big Bird has effectively handed on to those in his neighborhood. Number 1, the Count has OCD. When he acquired a job as a lift operator, he flatly refused to stop at any floor other than the 10th because he had to count all the way to 10 and back. He lives a secluded life, confined to his fortress and cut off from the outside world. If you look around his room, you notice all the cobwebs and dust. That's not there because they're attempting to make the place look eerie and vampiric. They're there because the Count can't keep his compulsions under control long enough to undertake basic cleaning. This is a pretty common OCD symptom. Many people believe that ordering your trousers by day of the week or having all of the books on your shelf sorted alphabetically is a bit OCD, but it isn't. That's a little strange. Many people underestimate the severity of obsessive compulsive disorder. Begin with the obsessive word. The fixation in question is the repetition of unwelcome thoughts, such as dread of contamination, being harmed, or in the Count's case, unwanted acts of aggression. I mean, the Count is a vampire, for God's sake. He must constantly fight the impulse to sever Elmo's throat and suck on his blood. By tolerating these undesirable obsessions, the sufferer is driven to progress to the next stage, compulsiveness. Excessive cleaning, inspecting and ordering and arranging rituals, repeating routine activities, and counting are among the most prevalent compulsions. The unfortunate issue is that this compulsive, repetitive behavior is intended to relieve any tension created by those bothersome, obsessive thoughts, but in many situations, it just exacerbates it. Thanks for watching. Those were 10 dark Sesame Street theories that will ruin your childhood. Leave a like and comment if you think we missed anything, and we hope you have a scary day.